Good morning. Well, here we are. And before we get started, let me just point out to you that even here on YouTube, you can comment over, I think it's down there in the right hand corner. At least that's where it shows on my screen. And I'll try to comment back to you as we go along here with this. It's not going to be a very long video, but I noticed I haven't done a video in a while, so I thought I would do that. I want to start off by saying this. So, there are many people that will watch this video today or maybe watching right now that only know of me as Bill Post, the state representative guy from House District 25. I was elected in 2014. I served my first term, or first session in 2015. So I'm in the middle of my third term. But I had a long career before that in the radio business. If you look very carefully behind me, you'll see my pass and my ticket and a picture from the Rose Bowl. What year was that? That was 2012. The Oregon Ducks at the Rose Bowl. I used to do a pregame show on the radio, among many other things I did on the radio for many years. But the reason I bring this up, and it's kind of important, is, well, this used to be my show. And then there's a reason why I show this right now, because there are many people that watch this right now who only know me as state representative guy and don't know that I used to do a radio show. I bring that up because on my radio show, which was a conservative talk show on a station here in the Salem-Keizer area, broadcasted all over the state, every year at about this time, about right now, about mid-October into the end of the year, I would at least weekly, if not every day on my show, remind my listeners about the Oregon political tax credit. It is so unique. And frankly, for Oregon, it's crazy. I mean, I can't believe that at some point, don't tell anybody, but at some point, the Democrats are going to figure out that this is something that they don't really want. Here's how it works. If this is the first time you've ever heard this, would you take note of this? If you've heard this before and you haven't taken advantage of it yet, shame on you. All right, so let's go forward a little bit to next year. Whenever you do your taxes, if you're like me and you have obsessive compulsive disorder, you do it on January 1st. But anyway, let's say you wait till April 15th. So you're sitting there on April 14th and you're doing your taxes and you come to the Oregon form. At the top of the form, there's a cup, or it's at the bottom. Maybe it's at the bottom. I can't remember now because I do all mine on what do you call it? TurboTax. Yeah, I do TurboTax. So I don't actually see the form. It's either at the very beginning or it's at the very end. It doesn't matter. But either way, it'll say there'll be a couple of check boxes. One of them says Oregon political tax credit. Now, you may have scrolled by that all these years and never paid attention to it. Here's the deal. If you make under $200,000, it's roughly $200,000 a year, which I assume is probably 99.9% of everybody watching this right now, or that will watch this later. If you make under $200,000 a year, you are allowed to give to a political action committee like Friends of Bill Post, like Oregon Right to Life, like Oregon Firearms Federation, like any of your state representatives or state senators or any other approved political action committee. You're allowed to give $50 to them right now in 2019. And then in 2020, when you do that tax form, you check that box, you get that $50 back right there on your taxes. Let me make it even more simple for you. I like simple math. I used to do this illustration every year on my show, and I was amazed at how many people didn't know this. So imagine you're doing your taxes and you owe $100 to the state of Oregon, but you gave $50 back in November or October to Friends of Bill Post. You check that box. Can you do the math? How much do you now owe the state of Oregon? $50 instead of $100. Does that make sense? You have $50 in free money. Now, you say, Bill, I don't have $50 right now. I can't afford to send you $50 right now. Let me just say this. I understand. I can't either, probably, but I've done my political tax credit. I do it every year. Because you're going to pay that $50 at some point anyway. You're going to pay it to the state of Oregon, and they're going to take that 50 and give it to state agency X over there. Okay? So it's the one time you get to redirect $50 of your money that you're going to pay anyway, whether you pay it today or pay it April 15th, you're going to pay it. Why not direct it to somebody that you appreciate and like and you support? And by the way, it's $100 for a couple. So if you're filing jointly, you have $100, $50 per person, $100 per couple. Why would you not take advantage of that? And then think about this in the huge, broader scope of things. Imagine, now I'm not just talking to Republicans, but I'm going to mention Republicans for a moment. There's about, 700,000 Republicans in Oregon. But let's make it an easy number. I'm going to get my pen and I'm going to get a piece of paper. Let's say there's 500,000. Oh, I'm going to need a calculator. Hang on. Let's say there's 500,000 Republicans in Oregon. 500,000. And they each gave $50,000. $50 times 50. A calculator doesn't go up that big. That's $25 million. Can you imagine how Oregon would change if you gave $50 and it went to people like myself, friends of Bill Post, so that I can help other good conservative candidates get elected? Can you imagine $25 million? Phil Knight can't do that. No corporation can give just $25 million just like that. We have the power, people. We have the power. And you know what's funny? The Democrats don't usually take advantage of this political tax credit because they know they have union money and corporate dollars and all that. Republicans do. So whenever you say to me, oh, Multnomah County runs everything, Portland runs everything, you have $50 that you could change things. If 500,000 people gave $50, if 100,000 people gave $50, do you not understand how simple this is? But I don't have $50 right now, Bill. You're going to pay it in April. Why not pay it now? I hope that makes sense. That's as simple as I can put it. So I just felt like I got up this morning. I said, man, I miss being on the radio. And so I love doing these videos. And I used to explain this every year. And every year, I swear, 10 people would call me up and go, I didn't know that, Bill. Gosh, I'd never heard of that. And I'm not mocking them. I'm just saying most Oregonians don't know about this. You literally see that box every year and you go, I don't know what that is. I'm just going to leave that alone. It's there. It's free money. Okay, so that's enough. If you want, you could send that to Friends of Bill Post, 5434 River Road North, number 142, Kaiser, Oregon, 97303. Or you could just go to billpost.com and click on the donate button. If that's where you want to send your $50. I'm not saying don't send it anywhere else. I'm just saying I gave you the information, didn't you? That ought to be worth $50. Well, Bill, why do you need more money? Why do I need more money? You know what? Campaigns cost a lot, but here's the other thing. I help other people get wins. I send that. When you send me that money, you're entrusting me with your $50. I use it to help others win races. And we need to win some races in 2020. So again, $50, $50. You're going to give it to the state anyway. Last thing I want to talk about is the vaping ban. I have some more information from the Legislative Council, which is the lawyers down in the basement of the Capitol. And I'm still fleshing it out, and I'll probably have more on it by tomorrow when the rulemaking is done by OHA and OLCC. But let me just say this. I am not in favor of a ban of any kind. Do I think that the health of our youth is important? Absolutely. But we made vaping, smoking, chewing, we made all tobacco, everything. We made that illegal for anyone under 21. So if they're vaping right now, teenagers, they're vaping illegally. So it's already against the law. Why would banning it make it any better or worse? We're putting people out of business. I spoke to some folks over here. I won't say the name of the store because I don't have their permission, but it's a store just right over here from my house, not far, here in Kaiser. And I said to them, how is this ban going to affect you? And they said, it's going to put us out of business. It's 90% of our business. I am for standing up for small businesses. And you know what? The thing is, the vaping, they haven't even proven for a fact what it is. You can't, well, we're going to ban flavored vaping. And I say this, what about the slippery slope? If the governor can ban vaping flavored whatever vape stuff, what if she decides that menthol cigarettes, or she decides that cherry flavored Swisher sweet cigars? Now, let me go one step even further. She's not up for re-election in 2022 because she's done. So there's no elections now. She could take a lot of heat off of the current Democrat leadership in Oregon by banning magazines that hold over 10 rounds. Now, I know that's a stretch, and I'm not saying she's going to go there. I'm just saying, when you could start banning this, when is that and that and that coming? These are the things that I worry about. This is why I do what I do. Look, do you think I want to run for state representative again because it's high paying and it's a super powerful gig? No, none of the above. I do it because I'm here to tell you what's going on. So I am not in favor of the vaping ban. Diana asked the question, is $50 the max? You can give as much money as you want, Diana, but the tax credit is the credit that you get back on your taxes next year is only $50 per person or $100 per couple. So you can give as much money as you want, but you can only check that box. And when you check that box, you'll only get 50 or 100 back. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. Okay, so back to the vaping ban. We'll have more tomorrow. Oregon Health Authority and OLCC are going to come out with their rulemaking on what exactly is going to happen with this ban. I don't know what's going to happen. I've been sending emails for days back and forth to OHA, OLCC, the governor's office, legislative council, everybody, and nobody's answering me, and we're not getting very far. I just know that this is wrong, and it's a slippery slope, and it scares me to death. And all it's going to do is drive kids to the black market if they aren't already. And I'm concerned about the fact that so far as we know, the injuries and deaths that have been caused by vaping were THC infused. So if we're going to ban one, why don't we ban it all? I'm not in favor of that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the logic is if you're going to ban this, why not ban this? So there's where I am. I promised this would be short. So I hope this makes sense to you. And I hope you'll share this video with people in Oregon. You can share it with people outside of Oregon, but if you'll share it with people in Oregon, the Oregon political tax credit, it is free money that you have. And if you're not taking advantage of that, I want to ask you a question. What are you doing for Oregon? What are you doing to help us win in Oregon? To help change the numbers in the Capitol? What else are you doing? I signed a petition, Bill. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you did. $50? You can't come up with $50 that you're going to get back on your taxes anyway? Thanks, Diana. All right. That's it. I'll let you go. If you have questions, this is posted on my Facebook page at Bill Post for Oregon on Facebook, and probably a couple of other pages. And you can always go to billpost.com and learn more. And I would appreciate if you would like to use your political tax credit, go to billpost.com and click on the donate button. And you can do it with your credit or your debit card. It's very secure. It's very safe. And if you rather send a check, there's an email or a mailing address there to send it. But I implore you to take advantage of this political tax credit. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I hope you'll watch this video if you didn't see it from the beginning and that it helps you a little bit. I hope you have a great day. Really, I really do.